Hi. So I have an idea I want to challenge you on. I believe that it is time that we as Americans stop being a nation of victims. Oh boy. How about opening a can of worms, right? I actually think that we as Americans hmm, we might actually adopt the victim mindset even more than we realize. So, do me a favor, and over the next week, just keep your ear to the ground and listen to conversations, listen to news reporting, listen to elected leaders, listen to even peers to see how do they frame the problem that they're discussing. Do they talk about it in the way of one, there's a problem and someone's to blame? Do they talk about it as there's a problem, what can I do to fix it? Or do they talk about there's a problem, how can I be a part of redeeming what I should have gotten all along? So as you and I listen to what's going on in the legislatures or the halls of politics, right, or the news, it's easy for us to naturally get upset with this leader, that leader, the leaders from 40 years ago, to say, well, why didn't they do it differently? But here's where I want to challenge us. I'm not saying that previous leaders have not made mistakes. They've made lots of mistakes because guess what? They're humans. And I guarantee you that if a galley of people scrutinize me, they will see a million and one mistakes, errors, things that I could have done differently. But the thing that I want to draw to your attention is who are we? We are Americans. We are not perfect. We are not without fault, but what are we known for? We're known for the American spirit. That American spirit that's innovative, that American spirit that is built on solutions, the American spirit that's creative, that has grit, that has resolve, that has, you say I can't do it, watch me, I'll get it done, right? So when you and I look at, everything that we're grappling with, I think the question should become not who can we blame for it, and there is a place for that conversation. But I think that we should be asking, what is it that we can do to resolve the situation? But Amy, I wasn't a part of it. You're here now. And the fact that you recognize there's a problem, it's highly possible that God is about to tap you on the shoulder to say, you may not have created the problem, but I want you to be a part of the solution. I think that us as Americans, we need to be keenly sensitive to the idea that things aren't working with old systems, things aren't working with certain ways of doing things. How do we need to do things differently? How do we need to innovate? How do we need to be creative? How do we need to think outside the box to find the solution? I am so thankful that men and women from eons past, for all the inventions that have been created in our nation. I think of Thomas Edison, right? Like, how many times did he try and fail and try and fail and try and fail? I'm thankful for the light bulb, which, as you can see over my shoulder, I'm benefiting from all the time. I'm thankful for people like Abraham Lincoln, right? Who his resume was failure after failure after failure. He could have sat down and said, they're not doing it how they used to do it. I can't do it. It's not working. I can't get it to work. I can't figure this out. He didn't. He kept going. And I think the same American spirit that drove the men and women out west, that drove them, goodness, to the Plymouth Shore, that drove them to conquer certain ideas, to explore new avenues, to go to the moon, right? All these different pieces. That is what our brand. We are known for courage, innovation, cutting edge things. And that's what we need to get back to as Americans. So, whether you're dealing with a local school district issue or you're dealing with how do I deal with this company that's trying to take over our community, right? Step back, identify what everybody expects to be the solution, write that out, however you need to process it. Say, this is the normal way of solving this problem. And then set that aside and say, if I were completely new to this scene, if I were to pull on all of my executive experience or my professional experience, or if I was a mom and how would I coach my kids to resolve this problem? Use those principles to see if you can find a new solution. Now, I will tell you that as you present new solutions, as you transition from, you know what, we're up against a rock and a hard place, but that's the victim mindset. And I'm not taking the victim mindset. I'm not taking that position that says it's somebody else's fault and they're the only ones that can fix it. That's victim. That says someone else is to blame. I can do nothing. Instead, choose to step into that position that says, I am an American. I am created by God for such a time as this. He has the solutions. And while that wrong was done, while that bad decision was made, I am choosing to be innovative and to think with a victory mindset. I don't know how we can get to the solution, but we will. And I am going to find a way forward. Now, as you do that, you will hit resistance. People will say, no, it's never been done that way before. We can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. Expect it. Give space for it, meaning give people time and space to process, right? Like if you're rolling out a new idea, don't expect to start building it tomorrow. Give just a little bit of wiggle room. But as you move forward with the wisdom of other peers and you advance forward out of the victim, someone else has done this to us, someone else needs to fix the problem, someone else has destroyed, right? Acknowledge the problem. Recognize you are here for such a time as this, and that because you are here for such a time as this, you are meant to be a part of the solution. Step into that victorious mindset that says, I wasn't there before. I don't know. That way doesn't seem to be working, but here's a new way of doing it. Let's try this. As you find fruit from new endeavors, from a new mindset, you are going to inspire more people to come alongside you. And as they see the fruit, they're going to have greater confidence in, oh, wow, maybe we need to be the innovative Americans again. And I do think that's something that we in America need to stir. An old conservative colleague of mine, I saw a post of his on LinkedIn, and it was a picture of his daughter staring out the plane window. And he said every day he is asking his daughter, what new thing are you thinking about today that you never thought of before? And he was making the case for the value of offering open-ended questions. And maybe that's part of the problem of what we're facing right now in our nation, is that there is a stagnation. People are ready for hope, they're ready for solutions, and they're ready for a vision. Remind your community, we are Americans. We are made for challenges. We have grit. We can do this. God has a solution we're going to tap into. Yes, that's bad that happened. They shouldn't have done it, but we're going to learn from those mistakes and we're going to be better moving forward. I hope this helps. Let me know your thoughts. And remember, don't be a victim. You're an American. And Americans can do great things with God on their side.